What's up, you guys? My name is Olivia. Welcome to my channel, a place for creatives and entrepreneurs. In today's video, we're going to talk about how I made over 137K in my t-shirt Etsy shop. So stay tuned. Okay, so first off, let me say I know it's been a minute. It's been crazy these past couple months. As you know, fourth quarter has hit, and for me, business did not slow down. If anything, it amped up. So I really had to take time away from my YouTube channel. Did not want to, but anyways, so yes, you'll see I'll post a couple of clips here of how chaotic it was for me, and knowing that, you know, I'm just a small business, you know, I don't have a group of people working for me. So anyways, that's why I've been gone for so long. I think it's been like over 5 months, but needless to say, I'm back to it. So let's get right into this content. So today we're going to talk about 5 things I did to get my shop up to the point where it's at, and I was able to make, you know, over 137K, you know, from the time that I started to now. So I started last year. But anyways, the first one is create with intent. So when I create my designs, I create with intent. I do my research first before I just create. I don't create just because I think it's cool, you know, or I like it, because that's not going to get me any sales. So first I find a target audience before I even bother creating the designs. The way that I create with intent is I look on Etsy, because that's a platform that I'm on majority of the time. So I don't really bother to look elsewhere. So I use Etsy as a roadmap to, you know, to help guide me, you know, in the direction that I need to be guided in for my next design. So I'll go on Etsy, you know, I'll type in a keyword and, you know, see what, you know, what's trending. And then I'll go from there, and then go into my software. I'll go into Canva. I use Canva to create my designs. I used to use Photoshop, but now I use Canva. So yes, so that's how I create my designs. That's the number one thing that I suggest, is create with intent. The next thing I did and still do is organize my workflow. So I cleaned up my workspace, decluttered everything, made everything a little bit more organized than what it was. It was a bit chaotic, so I organized everything in my shop, or my studio. That means I made things easier to find during production, because I don't want to be going from one side of the room to the next. The goal was to make everything move as smoothly as possible during the production process. And when you're one person, that time really counts. Another thing I did to organize my workflow is batch work. I did, so for instance, if I choose to research on designs, I'll choose one day to just focus on that and that only. And then when I'm ready to create the designs, I may, you know, choose another day for just creating designs, but not all day. So I'll time block also. And so for instance, I'll start from 7 o'clock all the way to 12 p.m. that day, and then done, and then I'll move on to something else. This is to help me not be overwhelmed, because when I tried to do everything the same day, I became quickly overwhelmed with everything that I had to do. The next thing would have to be, I mean, this is all not in no order, no certain order or anything like that. So the next thing I did was plan ahead. I planned ahead of time instead of just going with the flow. I tried to go with the flow. That did not work, you know. I was less productive when I tried to go with the flow. So therefore, I had to plan everything out ahead of time, set time aside, and write on my calendar or write in my planner, whichever one, you know, I was using during that time, and write out, you know, okay, this day I'm going to create designs. This day I'm going to, you know, I don't know, when it comes to fulfillment, cut and weed, and then this day I'm going to fulfill, this day I'm going to ship. You get what I'm saying? Okay, all that flows under how I organize my workflow. The next thing I did to make this happen is, I'm looking at my notes over here. I set a goal for each month. And you may ask, well, why did you set a goal for the whole year? Well, for me personally, everybody works differently. So I like to work month by month. So for example, if I set a revenue goal for December and say I want to make 30K, you know, just throwing a number out there. So if I want to make 30K, okay, boom, you know, I put that down and then I work backwards from that so that it can be broken down into bite-sized pieces. And then I know exactly, so I have something called a massive action list, and I'll break it down step by step, and then I'll break it down to a schedule, you know, so that way I know, okay, I need to do this first, then once I finish this, I can do this next after that, because everything that I am doing is with intent and it's leading to the ultimate goal of that month in particular. So, but all the months will eventually add up to a grand goal for that year. But I prefer to, you know, plan out my goals monthly instead of annually. I find it beneficial to have monthly goals because it's, you know, it's short-term goals, but at the same time, they're leading up to my long-term goal. And it helps me avoid being busy. So I don't want to just be doing busy work. I want to be doing work with intent. I want each action that I do that day to, you know, move the needle up in my business, in my Etsy t-shirt shop. That moves into another thing that I did was stayed in my lane. It's very easy for us Etsy sellers to see what Sally, Jane, and Tom are doing when, you know, we get too wrapped up in what they're doing and don't focus on what we need to do for our shop to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like when we do that, we get discouraged. You know, we're like, well, dang, you know, they just opened and they're already up to 5,000 sales, and you know, I just opened just about, you know, about the same time they did, and I only have one sale. What's up? You know, because once you start getting wrapped up in that, it slows everything down for yourself, and you start self-sabotaging yourself in the end. So that's another thing I did. I stayed in my lane. I didn't worry about what everybody else is doing with their shop. I know what I need to do to get to the point where I want to get to. So I put my head down and, you know, wrote in my planner whatever my goal was, broke it down, and stayed to it. So it's okay to look at other people for inspiration, but don't get stuck there. And I found myself doing that a lot, and my business suffered for that. So that's another thing I did to reach this goal. Another thing I did was do a weekly check-in. I kept tabs on my progress each week because I found that when I didn't, you know, check in and see where my stats were. So basically when I say check in, I mean my stats, you know, what are people favoriting, things like that, you know. So I checked weekly, and I will actually write these things down or put them in a Google Doc or whatever it is. I put it down, and then I can actually see week by week. By the end of the month, I can see week by week that the work I put in actually did something for my business. Like, because when I didn't, I compared to time when I did not keep tabs and check in and review what was done for that week, I felt like I was getting nowhere. Therefore, I got discouraged, and it slowed down my productivity. I didn't want to do anything, so I did that to keep up with my progress. So that's another thing I did. It was a game changer for sure, because it definitely pushed me to continue to do what I'm doing, and it also validated what I was doing. You know, it let me know that I was on the right path. And that's it. It's a pretty short video, but those things seem pretty simple and small, but they actually were game changers for me this year, from last year to this year. So I changed up a lot of things from then to now. And with all the success that I'm experiencing now, I owe it to my designs. So I created a little cheat sheet for you guys. If you want to download it, you can. It's essentials to creating designs that actually sell on Etsy cheat sheet, and you can find it in the link below. And yeah, it's free. So, you know, let me know what you guys comment below what you guys want to know a little more about. What are your current struggles? Are you struggling with finding designs that sell? Are you struggling with even how to create designs, you know, that sell? Let me know, because I'm here to help. So yeah, that's it. So I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.